Hi, welcome to educator.com and the very first lesson in Adobe Illustrator CS6. So we're going to cover a lot of foundation because your foundation, if it's built right, will carry you the whole way through. Okay, we're going to talk about workspaces first. And even though you can work on one workspace at a time, I'm going to show you the many workspaces that are available and how you can set up yours. Okay, so let's get into it. Okay, so first we're going to look at preferences. Now, you may not know what preferences you want right away because you haven't worked with the program. So after you work with it for a while, you begin to see what your style is and what works for you. So let's look at the preferences right now. So general preferences. You have your keyboard increments. So when you want to move an object, this is the increments that it will move in. Constraint angle, you really don't have to worry about that. Keep that at 0. Unless you have some specific reason to change it, there's really no reason to. The corner radius, this is the default for your corner radius when you're making rounded rectangles. And you can change that along the way, but again, no reason to change it right now. But if you find you're making the same corner rounded rectangles all the time, then it might be good to put the default in here. Disable auto add delete. This refers to the pen tool, where the pen tool can add and delete points from the pen tool without going to another one. Use precise cursors, so instead of using an arrow or a tool, it'll use crosshairs. Show tooltips. I like keeping show tooltips checked because that helps me with the drawing and creating of the art. And anti-alias artwork. You want this checked because if you don't, then you'll see what vector really looks like, and it's really scary and it can make people nervous. The other stuff, double-click isolate. We'll go to that later, scale, stroke, and effect patterns. So really don't have to worry about that. You can keep this the way it is. Okay, now selection and anchor display. Now tolerance specifies the distance within which an anchor point becomes selected when you click it. So you're within 3 pixels, then that anchor point will become selected. Object selection by path only. Right now, this is deselected, so I can select object as soon as I get to it and not just hit it by the path. Snap to point within 2 pixels, almost the same as tolerance. And command click to select objects behind. Now this is if you have 2 objects on the same layer and one is behind another, then you can command click to select that other object. And also anchor point and handle display. If you don't, this is the way it's currently displayed in the grayed area. But if you don't like it, you can change it to one of these. Again, not too much to change. So pretty much the size, the type, units, inches, points, you have points to pixels, everything in between. The guides and the grid. So the guides are a cyan. So if you need to change the color because they have a cyan background, then you can change that. Right now it's lines, but it could be dots. The grid can be customized with what color that will be. Right now it's a light gray. And again, the style can be lines or dots. And the grid line is every 72 points right now, and the subdivisions are 8. And grids in black, and show pixel grid above 600 zoom. Okay, so smart guides, I like to keep smart guides on because those give me a lot of information. So they're very helpful. I know it may be confusing to some, and some people don't like it. But I'm telling you, keep the smart guides on. And as we go through the lessons, you'll see how helpful they are. Slices refer to when you're slicing stuff to make an interactive website or image map. Dictionary, again, nothing really to change here. Plug in the scratch disk. Now you have a secondary drive, then you want to make that the secondary disk your scratch disk because when you use up everything on your first disk, then it'll switch to that and it'll keep Illustrator humming right along. User interface, this is the interface we're in now, so I can make that custom, lighter, dark, or just go back to what I had, which is medium dark. Okay, file handling in the clipboard, again, not much to do here, because you do want to keep it as PDF, because across all of the Adobe products, it can read PDF. So that'll make it, so if you want to go from one Adobe program to another, if it copies as PDF, then you'll be able to open it right up. Appearance of black, really don't have to deal with anything here right now unless there's something specific instructions from your printer. Just keep this the way it is. Okay, so those are the preferences. Okay, now let's talk about workspaces. Now right now, your workspaces are under this tab, and we're using the essentials of the workspace. And there's many, many more. So you have layout, and again, so this is what they refer to as the workspace. It changes the panels arrangement and gives you tools that relate to what the specific thing is. So painting, so you have more brush and color tools available. Tracing, see, image trace box comes up. You can see the navigator. Typography, again, you have the type and fonts tool, your character styles, paragraph styles. So these are more accessible to you choosing color. For the web, swatches, symbols, brushes, appearance. And again, so things that they think will be available to you. So now let's go back to Essentials. Now, if you want to create your own workspace, it's very easy. So let's say I'm pretty happy with the way Essential operates, but it just needs 2 more windows because I use type a lot. So I'll open up the type window. So I went to Window, go down to Type, Character, and let's see, I'll just put that here in the corner. And I also like to use the Pathfinder tools a lot. So let me open up the Pathfinder window, pull this up. So now here's a way to change the size, like a high option, because all the options are showing. So I'm going to hide that. So make that a little bit smaller. Okay, so it's not quite in the way. So if you don't have 2 monitors to deal with, then this is good here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to save this as my workspace. So go to the tab, select New Workspace. I'm going to name it Howard because that's my name and it's my workspace. So now you see Howard appeared immediately. And let me just go back to Essentials. And you see, I started this in Essentials, so let me go to Tracing. Okay, so as you see, it disappears, go to the Tracing, and now when I go to Howard, it pops back up because this is what I set in the exact position that I set it in. So now let's go to show you how to manage your workspaces. So let's say you have a few different workspaces and you want to create a new workspace. You can use this as the guide, as the default. So from here you can create a new workspace, or if you have too many, then you can just delete the workspace and start fresh. Okay, so that is how you set the workspaces up. Okay, so now let's talk about artboards. Now, artboards are an interesting feature because it makes it very similar to Adobe InDesign. So there are a few ways you can get to the artboard. So click here and your artboard will be handy. Right now this is only one artboard, so let me just show you. So see this line here, that's the artboard. Now if I wanted to, I can go to click Document Setups, and this is another way to get the artboard. So I can edit the artboards here. So you can see I get some handles on here. So let me open up a new file and edit that. So I hit Escape to get out of that. Okay, so now I go to Document Setup, edit artboards, and I get some guides. And artboards are always numbered, so in order that you create them. Okay, so I can do whatever I want here, and then when I'm done, and if I want to, I can create another artboard, just that easily. All right, so let me get out of this and show you artboard that I already have made. Here's one for a children's book that I'm doing. So I did this all completely in Illustrator. This is all vector art. So I'm going to fit all in window. So you can see all 21 pages. Actually, this should be 20. In any case, all the pages. So I must have deleted artboard somewhere along the way here. In any case, the artboards are numbered. Yeah, it is 20. I just named it 21 or something. Okay, anyway, I'm digressing. Trying to reconstruct what I did here. Just caught me off guard. Okay, so anyway, The artboards are numbered. The name artboards, you can name them what you want if you really want to. And again, I can still create artboards, just with a touch. But I don't want to do that. All right. So now, how do you navigate all these artboards? Because if you zoomed in, like so, and let's say I wanted to go to artboard number 8, then here it is, artboard number 8. So that's one way, and also another way is from here. So I can go to 4, double click and go to 4, and the same thing 11. Also, I can use some arrow keys and move up. Oh, I'm moving actually the artboard, moving up into a different position, which I don't want to do right now on a layer. And again, I can create a new artboard from here or delete an artboard from here. Okay. So that is the artboards. And again, these print as pages, just as they would in Adobe InDesign. And as long as you keep it at the native format file, this will stay the same. If you make them a JPEG or export them to another format, then they come out as individual files. Okay, so that is not anything you have to worry about, but good thing to remember. Okay, and press the escape key here. So I'm out of artboard. All right, now let's go to rulers and guides. Now right now there's no rulers being displayed. So I'll go to View, Show Rulers, and now I get the rulers along the edge here. I need to show the rulers. This is why rulers and guides are together, because I can't create a guide without the rulers, because I pull from the rulers from the left and from the top, to get my guides. Okay, also with the rulers, I'm going to go, I can change the origin point. Right now, the origin point is the exact left corner here, but I can change it by going to this corner here and pulling in, and let's say I want the origin point to be here. So here is the 0, and lines up right there. And that doesn't affect how the guides are used at all. Okay, because I can still pull from anything. All right. Now, let me see. Now with guides, I can hide the guides. Okay. Bring the guides back. So View, Guides, Show Guides. And I can move the guides. Now, right now I can't because they're locked. So I have to go to View, Guides, and it's checked. So that